Hi, welcome to this week's Sim Racing News Roundup. Before we get started, just to let you know, I'm actually away next week, so there won't be a roundup next Friday, Saturday. I'm going to be, unfortunately, having to skip a week, and therefore it will be an even bigger one when I get back. So my apologies for that, but hey-ho, that's the way things go. So, kicking things off, we have RFactor 2, and they've just released an update which has basically put a load of tyre and physics updates, put the new sound mod updates in place for some of the cars within the title, and that's the Oreca 07 and the GTE pack. So there's a raft of Ferrari, Porsche, Aston Martin, Corvette, etc. GTE cars within RFactor 2. Now, the important thing about these is it's a really good update and it's great to see, but you do need to keep in mind that this is DLC content, so you're not going to have this content straight off the bat. It is something you will have had to have purchased as part of the RFactor 2's DLC. But if you do have it, it's been tarted up and it now has a better tyre model and a few other bits and pieces in it. As always, link to the patch notes down below so you can go and take a look for yourself should you wish to. Moving on then, BeamNG has had another hotfix. This comes on the back of the major update 0.25 we talked about a few weeks ago, and basically this is just a hotfix tweaking things post-patch. It's a fairly common thing to do after all, so it's mainly tidying up a few missions, a bit of AI work, some vehicles have been tweaked and changed around, but nothing major. So a small patch for that, just tidying up around the edges, as I say, of that big 0.25 release. We've then had an update for Gran Turismo Gran Turismo 7 and its update 1.18. Getting my head confused there. Interesting thing about this one is they've dressed up a few minor tweaks. You know, there was an odd thing where if you painted a colour in livery editor and you'd fitted, you changed the colour of brake calipers, they all went green and there was nothing you can do about it. So they've tweaked a few things like that, but the big one that's come out of 1.18 is actually a fix for a glitch they introduced in 1.17 that effectively allowed you to cycle through two of the events. You didn't have to actually complete the events, you just had to go in and start playing the completion video, come out of it, and it would re-reward you with tickets. So you could cycle between and get effectively unlimited roulette level 4-star roulette tickets and unlimited roulette star 6 engine swap tickets. So a lot of people ran AFKs for that. I must confess I did as well. So the script on that, I think it allowed me to get about 50-60 million credits, around about 30 cars I hadn't acquired before, and around 50 cars in total, and 1,500 engine swaps. That's right, I ran this script 1,500 times, and it still did not come close to giving me either all of the cars in Gran Turismo 7 or anywhere near enough money to buy all of the cars in Gran Turismo 7, which does really highlight quite heavily how messed up the economy is in Gran Turismo 7, because being perfectly blunt, running a glitch 1,500 times, it should do the job, but it doesn't, not even close. Keep in mind, the 50 million circa I earned, that is around about a tenth of the total money you need to accumulate to buy every car in Gran Turismo 7. Or, as PD seems insistent on building its economy and maintaining its economy around, you could open your wallet and buy some microtransactions. But enough moaning about Gran Turismo 7, and on to Wreckfest, which has a new tournament added via an update. This is the Wrecking Madness tournament. Not a great deal else going on with here. Quick fix for Steam, where if you switch to desktop, it could cause the game to crash. So nothing major there apart from a tournament to enjoy. We've then got Assetto Corsa Competizione has had a free update, and this brings the new 2022 European and American season liveries to the GT World Challenge. So you've got all the European and US series liveries included for free, so that's nice. You don't have to mess around, you've got all the liveries there for you. Forza Horizon 5 has had a very small and focused hotfix as well, and this is on PC where treasure chests weren't spawning for some players upon completion of a treasure hunt challenge. So they've fixed that, although they do acknowledge there are still further issues with treasure chests that they need to investigate and fix too. After that, we've had a big update, version 3.2 for Grid Legends. Now, this has tweaked a few things around completion and unlocking sponsorships and stuff like that, but the biggie for me is they finally put the photo mode in here. Now, I've always found that Codemasters do a pretty good photo mode. The one in F1 22 is a continuation of the one that's been in F1 for a while, and is really good. They added one into Dirt 5, which worked really well, but Dirt 5 didn't have a replay mode, so it kind of balked that a lot. So we've got replays in Grid Legends. We've had them from day one. We've now finally got a photo mode editor in there, which I'm really looking forward to playing around with, so I'm going to have fun with that one. We've also then had, and it's a little bit one of the reasons why this video is a little bit later than usual, because Thursday evening Nacon put out an update video, a kind of state of play type thing, and included in that was the hybrid cars trailer for the upcoming WRC Generations, so I'll link to that down below so you can have a look at the trailer. It's obviously around the latest Gen 1 cars that we've got within the WRC right now, which are running hybrid power and will feature in WRC Generations when it releases later on this year. By the way, the other reason why this is late is because I went to a gig yesterday. It was an all-day thing, so yeah, it's not easy to edit videos and record over. Record stuff when you're at a gig, so there we go. And finally, as again part of the Nacon video and update they put out, Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown has had some environmental screenshots released. I'll be honest, this is fairly low-key. They've pushed this back to 2023, and I think it was just more they had to put something in the video rather than nothing. There's no gameplay footage, there's no gameplay screenshots, it's environmental screenshots from within the game, so it teases a bit more about some of the vehicles that are coming in it and a little bit more about the environment and the one-to-one mapping they're doing of Hong Kong, but not a huge amount beyond that. So that's this week's news roundup. What you've been watching has been a little bit of a throwback here. So the tracking concern is another one from Fat Alfie, because after using one of his other tracks in a recent video, I just started replaying a lot of Fat Alfie stuff. So this is Thompson Road Grand Prix, which is actually, it was a real track. It was known alternately as the Orient Year Grand Prix, the Malaysian Grand Prix, and finally the Singapore Grand Prix. It existed between 1961 and 1973 and was basically a road circuit that primarily went through a jungle, a good 50% of it, which makes it stupidly challenging. It's got some really unpleasant hairpins at either end of it, and it's just a great fun track to throw some older school stuff around. And what's more fitting than that than unearthing Baz's GPL mod, the Grand Prix Legends 1967 pack, and in this case this is the Honda RA300 from that pack, and yeah, I really enjoyed this. So I'll leave links to these down below, and if you've never had to play around with either of these, I strongly recommend you give them a go in the Assetto Corsa. They are both excellent. And that's it for me for this week. As I say, quick reminder, there won't be an update next week. We'll be skipping a week, so it'll be a fortnightly one the week after that, because I am away. But hopefully you found this video useful. If you have enjoyed it, please do hit the like button, and if you want to see more stuff like this, please do subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to be notified when new content gets uploaded. Thanks very much, everyone. Take care. Bye.